Welcome back to Modalities Movement Therapy. In this short video, we're going to look at the range of motion and mobility in the knees. And I want you to remember the fascial connections between the lower limbs, the hips, the knees, and the feet. The more movement we have in the feet, the stronger the feet are, the more they're going to affect the knees and the hips. Because remember, the feet are our foundation. So they are going to have an effect on the rest of the body. With the use of a soft reflex ball, a circle resistance band, and an extended resistance band, we're going to start by releasing the knees, the feet, and the hips, and then we're going to work on their range of movement. So start with the soft reflex ball under the foot, and I want you to slowly roll from the inside of the foot to the lateral side of the foot, releasing that foundation. Take it nice and slow, and then when you're ready, you're going to hug the ball with the toes and try and pick that ball up. Hug the ball, spread the toes out, create spaces between the toes. So you're widening and broadening your foundation so that it gives you more support. When you've done that, bring the ball onto the heel and you can roll the heel from side to side over the ball. And then you're going to work on a nice quick proprioceptive movement, just waking up those nerves in the feet. Once you've done that, take the ball over to the other side and roll from the inside of the foot all the way over to the lateral side of the foot. A nice slow and steady release. Once you've done that, I want you to pick the ball up with your toes. Remember your posture. Try not to look down at your feet too much. See what's happening, but lift yourself up into a nice lifted and extended position. Pick the ball up with the toes. And when you're ready, you can bring the heel onto the ball and roll from side to side. Work into the arches of the feet as well. Remember, if you have a flat arch, you're going to have some inward rotation, which is going to bring the knee in, and it's also going to affect the hips. So you want to lift the feet up, the arches of the feet up, and increase the range of movement there, strengthening the arches of the feet. So my feet are now parallel, and I'm curling my toes, trying not to scrunch them up, but I'm trying to slide them towards the heel, lifting up in the arch of the foot. And I want to be careful not to roll my feet out too much. Try and stay on the big toe and not roll the ankles out. Getting that movement and strengthening into that arch. 4 more. And 3. And 2. And 1. Good. Standing at the back of the mat in a nice lifted and lengthened position. Breathe in. On your exhalation, roll down through the spine. Walk onto your hands and knees. Let's start with one side, and we're going to roll over the shin. So we have a muscle along here called the tibialis anterior, more on the, so it's next to that shin, sort of between those two bones there. So you want to apply a nice gentle pressure again, working from the knee all the way to the ankle onto the foot. And we'll just stick with the one side for now, then we'll move over to the other side. Now you're going to take the ball behind the knee. You're going to curl the toes under. So we're going to work into the plantar fascia in the arch of the foot, and you're going to release the back line of that leg. So, and the muscle behind the knee called the popliteus, you want to just squeeze that ball. You're going to push into that position and wiggle your hips from side to side. If your knees are taking strain, then just double up your mat and give your knees a little bit more cushioning and wiggle your hips from side to side. Pushing into that ball of the foot to really stretch the arch of that foot. And wiggle the hips from side to side again. Bounce and wiggle. Now we're going to bring the ball onto the hip flexor, which is below the hip bone, where that leg bends. So you're going to lie forward on the mat, position the ball under the hip flexor, curl those extended toes under, and massage that ball up and down. You can also move that ball from side to side, in circles, up and around. Do another 4 and 3, 2 more and 1 more. Good. Let's repeat those releases to the other side. So we're going to take that ball onto the front of the shin. Remember, between those bones on the right side. I'm on the right foot, I'm on the right leg, so it'll be more to the lateral side, on the right side of that shin. Rolling along there. And again, so if you need to just give your knee a little bit more support, if it's taking strain, then just double up your mat. Now taking the ball onto the hip flexor, you're going to bring your other leg into a gecko position. So I'm below the hip bone, my hip bone is here, and I'm going to curl those extended toes under and massage the ball up and down and move it from side to side. Release it there. Keep going. Another 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Good. I'm rotating onto my back, lying there, crossing the ankle over the knee, opening up. So we're going to work along the inner thigh. I want you to take the ball and you're going to work little circular motions up and down or from side to side. If you need to support your head, you can bring a cushion under your head as well. Just roll that ball up to the knee and down towards the hip. And now you're going to take the ball and you're going to bring it under the lower back. So again, I want you to think all about the hip. In line with the hip, we're working on the sacroiliac spine. So you're just going to wiggle the hip from side to side and massage the ball along that sacroiliac spine. Now take the ball a little bit lower down. You can release the foot and you're going to work the glutes there. So again, think about the hips. The gluteus muscles are the biggest muscle group in the body, made up of the glute maximus, minimus, and medius. And the stronger those muscles are, the more they're going to stabilize your hips. And that's going to help with the knees and the feet. So we want to activate these muscles and release them before we activate them. So move that ball around. Now release the ball. Take the ball back behind the knee. Extend your supporting leg. Bring your foot towards your hip, your supporting hip. Push your knee out and just cradle that leg. So you're just rocking a little bit from side to side, squeezing the ball behind the knee. Good, and then just take that ball out and have a nice big yawn and stretch. Okay, from there we're going to rock up to the other side and cross the ankle over the knee. I think we did do those releases on that shin, and we're going to take the ball and we're going to roll around the inner thigh, working along towards the hip. Now taking that ball, I'm just going to rock around, bring it underneath the lower back, in line with the hip bone. On that bony process, the sacroiliac spine. And roll across there. Now move that ball onto the glutes, release the foot, and just bounce and move that ball around. You can bounce the knee, roll the ball around and bounce a little bit. Reposition the ball and continue with that release. Now you're going to take the ball back behind the knee, squeezing the ball, rotate the foot and the knee, and just cradle that leg, opening up in the hip. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the ball, lengthen out, have a nice big yawn, and stretch. Hug your knees. Let's now take that extended resistance band. We're going to bring it under the foot. So sort of midway. And then you can sit upright or you can lie into that supine position, whatever is more comfortable. If you're sitting upright, you can always use the band to help you stay in that upright position. Idea is to pull your foot towards you. So you're stretching into the calf at the back, lengthening that. Now we're going to bend the knee and extend it. If you are in that upright position, you can take the band into one hand and you can pull that knee right to the side and push and extend and resist against the band. Let's keep going, pulling and bending, increasing that range of movement in that knee as you go. Breathe in and then exhale. Lengthen out. Let's do another 4. And 3. Two more. And 1 more. Flex and point the foot. Well, not so much of a point, but just resisting against that band, pushing away. And now you're getting more movement up the front of the shin, loosening and lengthening there. Okay, let's do the same thing to the other side. So you can either stay in that supine position or come up into a lifted position where you can just work on your posture a little bit as well, lengthening up and out of those sit bones. Hold onto the band in the same hand. And let's go into that rotation, breathing in and exhale. Breathing in and exhale. Keep going. Let's do another 6. If this is as far as you can go, that's great. Just increase your range of movement. We have released those hip flexors, so hopefully you can get a little bit more range of movement. Do another 3. And 2. And 1. Good. And from there you can hold on to either side of the band and just get that movement into the ankle. 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Good. And release the band. Now we're going to take this band and you're going to bring it above the knees, lying in a side lying position. You're going to stack the feet and the knees and make sure the hips are stacked as well. If the knees are not stacked, then the hips are not stacked. So make sure everything is stacked. And now we're going into our clam. So I want you to stay on your elbow so we can open up over the rib cage, over the diaphragm. So as we breathe in, we can extend that arm as well. As we exhale, come into that tuck position. So I'm pulling away from my elbow into that tuck position. Breathe in, open up, and exhale. Getting that movement into the hips, which will help strengthen the knees. And exhale. Breathe in and exhale. Breathing in and exhale. Here we go for 4 more. And exhale. And 3. And exhale. 2 more. And exhale. For the last one. And exhale. Keep the band where it is and just rotate over to the other side. And again, shoulder over elbow, hips stacked, knees stacked, feet stacked. Let's breathe in, extend the arm, and make sure you're not dropping too far back. You want to push the pelvis forward. Imagine you've got a wall behind you. So you're breathing in and exhaling. And breathe in. And exhale. Pulling away from the elbow. 4, 5 to go. And 4. Crunching and tucking here. 3 more. And 2 more. For the last one. And exhale. Lying forward on the mat. Before we do that, just bring the band around the right foot and the left ankle. You're now going to push the ball of the right foot into the mat. So that's the band around the foot, and the other piece, the other part of the band is around the ankle. And we're going to activate the hamstrings and again, getting movement into the knee. So you're going to exhale and inhale. Relax the foot so your calf is not taking too much strain. You want to feel that working in the hamstrings, in the back line of the body. Breathing out and breathing in. Now try and get that foot as close to the tailbone as you can. Getting that resistance into the band. Exhale and inhale. We're going to do another 4. And inhale. And 3. 2 more. And the last one. Inhale. Now, without moving, just change the position of the band. On the left foot, the band is around the foot, and on the right leg, the band is around the ankle. Let's exhale and inhale for 2, and breathe in, and 3. Take your time and get that foot towards the tailbone. 4 to go. And 3. 2 more. And the last one. Let's put the band to the side. Come up onto your hands and knees. Working into some hip rotations. So you're going to stand here on the hands and knees, and you're going to rotate the ball of the foot. So take the hip into account. We're going to rotate the foot out, so the hip is going into an inward rotation. Then we're going to take the hip into an outward rotation. So pushing into the ball of the foot, you're going to rotate the hip out, and you're going to sit back into that movement. And then you're going to come back, rotate the knee in, and bring the foot back onto the mat. Rotate it out, rotate it back, pushing back, coming up, inward, and release. Let's keep going on the same side. Rotate the foot out, open up into the hip, sit back into that stretch. Rotate and come in. Here you go for 4. And push back. And release. 4 more. Rotate. Push back. We can reach around or reach away from that movement. Rotate and release. 3 to go. Ball of the foot. And sit back and stretch the arms away. And rotate in and release. 2 more. Rotate out. Push back. Walk your hands up to that diagonal. And back. And release for the last one. Ball of the foot. Rotate. Walk the hands away. Wherever you feel you're getting the most stretch. Rotate and release. Keep going. Let's do the other side. So ball of the foot to rotation. Rotate and sit back. Walk your hands away, increasing that movement and that stretch. Back, rotate and release. Here you go for 2. Rotate, stretch, and release. For 3. Push and stretch. And rotate. Let's do 4. And rotate. 4 to go. Rotate. 3 more. Two to go. And the last one. And rotate. Curl the toes under. Push up into your pyramid or down dog. And just walking through the feet, releasing the back line of the body. Push both heels into the mat and walk your hands back, uncurl, and breathe in. Okay, we'll finish off with some squats. These are one of the best ways to keep that mobility in the hips and the knees, and a great exercise to strengthen the glutes. But you need to make sure that your positioning is correct, because you don't want to be rolling the knees in and dropping into the arches of the feet. So just make sure your alignment is right, feet slightly wider than hip distance apart. You can always start with a small movement and then increase your range of movement. Make sure that you're nice and upright. Keep looking ahead so your posture will assist you. And you're going to sit your bum back. So imagine you're sitting into that chair. You don't want the knees to come forward. You want the knees to stay where they are. And you don't want to drop the upper body too much. You want to keep that chest nice and upright. You want to sit back, so you're taking most of the weight into the heels, but not too much so you're falling back. You want to sit back into that chair. And you want to keep the knees where they are so they're not dropping over the toes. Breathe in as you go down into your squat position. Start off small. Breathe out as you come up. Breathe into that squat and exhale. A nice place to assist is at a wall. So take your hands onto the wall, step yourself away from the wall, keep looking ahead, and sit yourself back into that position. And lift up. Breathe in and exhale. Make sure you're sitting back into that squat position and not letting the knees go forward. Push the knees apart so that this is not happening again. Like I said, with the arches of the feet dropping, you want to push the knees out so you are, in effect, lifting up into those arches and then lifting up out of that squat position. Breathe in as you go down. Breathe out as you come up. And then slowly increase your range of movement. And make sure that you're not letting those heels lift up. Stop before that happens. Most important thing is to keep those heels down and knees back. Breathe in and exhale. Breathe in and exhale. And shake those legs out. Swing the arms around the body. Finish off with an inhalation and exhale.